Right, folks, here we go. Welcome into the Irn-Cru podcast. I'm your host, Danny McVeigh, and it is officially Super Bowl week. The magic that was the Pro Bowl is in the rearview mirror, and the buzz is building for the big dance. It will take place in Arizona, Sunday night, 11:30 kickoff, Central Scotland time. It's between the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles, and here to talk through all the early hype, we'll talk through the Pro Bowl highlights and the latest news. I've got to say, this is the ugliest crew I've ever worked with, but with they lack in chops, they make up for in charisma. Only kidding, lads, right? First up is the luckiest fantasy football player alive. It's Brian the Brown Donlan. Hello, Brian.
We're going to be saying that. I'm going to be retrieving the belt.
The lucky belt.
No such thing as luck, mate. When it's a Dynasty repeat champion, I think is how you wanted to say that there, mate.
Right, whatever.
It's like see, establishing a dynasty, mate. It's hard work, it's graft, it's hours.
You would not been a Browns fan. That being a Browns fan, pal.
Listen, I'll be getting into the front office just shortly, don't you, mate? Just you hang fire. I'll be getting a new phone call for the Haslams. I'll no answer. Some stuff still got some vague for my dignity.
That was a grenade just chucked in early doors, mate. Right, next up, Packers fan and soon-to-be arch-nemesis of Aaron Rodgers. It's Liam McGee. Liam, how are you, mate?
I'm well. I don't know about arch-rival, arch-nemesis, but I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening this off-season. Hope it just gets sorted quickly, but we'll sure come on to that at some point.
It's Aaron Rodgers. When does he sort anything about his future?
No.
Soon, in a hurry.
It's a joy, isn't it? A joy.
Loves to rip the arse right with it and stay in the headlines. So, we'll come to that later on because we are going to have a wee look at what's going on actually with the QB carousel coming up. So I'm sure you've got plenty of opportunity to talk about Aaron Rodgers then. Last but not least, we'll have a late substitution coming in. Kev Coggle did his hamstring in the warm-ups. In to replace is his big brother, Scud. How you doing, mate?
Not bad, bud. Not really prepared for this, but I didn't miss much with the Pro Bowl. No, not really. I didn't miss too much, so I'm fine.
Right, we'll get to right on. Right, but before we do get into kind of all the action, just love to welcome in all new and old watchers, listeners to the show. Don't forget, please get in touch right throughout the show. Love to hear your thoughts, takes on the world of the NFL. And remember, if you haven't already, we've got an amazing giveaway going on Twitter. It's running all this week. We'll be doing a live draw on Super Bowl night. There's 3 prizes up for grabs, first, second, third, jersey, hats, balls, and maybe a private DM for Scud if you end up fourth.
I'm glad we swapped that to a DM because we couldn't afford to print that picture. Paper link.
That's why we call him Big Scud. That's what we're saying. Right, as always, right, let's get through with our kick-off question, right? Nice and simple, easy one, lads. I'm looking at you as right in fine physiques, peak physical forms. Simple question, what Pro Bowl game would you excel in and why? So, right, Scud, I'll come at you last, right? You can have a wee bit of time just to absorb that question. Liam, tell us, what would you do?
So it was quite a tough decision to make, I thought. But I've gone for a part of the gridiron gauntlet. I thought, I'm tall, thin, I can climb over those walls and slide under those tables or benches, whatever they are.
Yeah, you would just step over the walls?
Yeah.
So you and Brian Burns would go neck and neck? Yeah. Is that
better than Myles Garrett did, breaking his toe, didn't he? So...
dislocate these weeks.
Listen, we're not talking about that.
Oh, we are. I've got it
coming back in IR.
Well, I've got it coming up. Don't you worry. We're still talking about that. No, that's an interesting one. I never had you in for that, but no, I can see it. I was trying to see if there was a tennis-related one, since you're basically like a straight Andy Murray. So
I know. If only, it'd be nice to have his money, wouldn't it? One day.
I think he went for money and not about talent. We know
what matters in the end, don't we? Know what matters in the end.
It's all about the Benjamins. Brian, tell me, what would you like to do? You sit and watch them.
Best catch. Got to be a chance to like take a running jump at a trampette or a guy in a massive lion costume.
Oh, that one. I thought you meant the punt one where they had to catch it. And I thought, well, that makes sense.
That's shite.
It's not. Wouldn't it be the first time you've had multiple balls in your hands? So I thought that makes sense. That's the skill set I've come to appreciate for a man like you.
That was minorly entertaining. Best thing about that was how atrocious Stefan Diggs was. It was absolutely mince. Amon Rassin Brown at least caught a couple of them.
You're giving away all the highlights of the Pro Bowl already.
It's so hard to keep them secret, isn't it?
It's so hard to keep them under my hat.
You shot your load too early again.
Happens, mate. That's
why Baby Donnelly due 2023.
Aye, number two.
Right, Scud, have you had ample time to think through and have a look?
I think the only one that I seen was that Move the Chains, just pulling the big sled.
Aye, I've got
you just get in the rain, but you wouldn't need teammates. you just be, and you wouldn't take any of the weights off either. You just be pulling off one big horn.
That's the one I would be good at.
Longest drive for me. See my golfing. I've already got the trophy.
Hang on a minute. Danny's entry for the NFL showcase is another sport.
I'm sorry. Was there actually a golf one?
Aye, the longest drive.
Shut the fuck up.
Global took a wee half hour to Top Golf.
I was.
Other driving ranges are available, of course.
I've got my trophy sitting here for our draft weekend a couple of years ago.
That's the only fantasy-related thing you won this year.
Oh, sure. It was also the only one that hit the fairway, so it didn't really make a lot.
Competition wasn't exactly what you would call stiff.
Long and straight, lads. That's it. Just don't get jealous, right? Just I've got multiple skills and talents here. It's not just looks and brains, I've got the whole package. Anyway,
you define the whole package as looks, brains, and I can drive a golf ball.
To be honest, even that I'm scraping a barrel there, mate.
Definitions are open to interpretation here, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. I know plenty of people would disagree even that. Right, let's go on to it, right? Because it was the Pro Bowl weekend. It kicked off sort of Thursday night, then into Sunday. It was Eli Manning was coaching the NFC Pro Bowl team, and he finally overcame his brother Peyton, who was in charge of the AFC team. And all thanks to primetime Kirk Cousins, we passed the George Kittle in the last of the flag football games to win 35-33 overall. It was a bit of a different format this year. They obviously ditched the traditional Pro Bowl game and decided to introduce it as a big competition with the games and the skills games. We were just talking about there and the flag football games as well. I sat down Sunday night. That's when I thought I'll watch it, take it all in then. I kind of enjoyed it, I've got to say. I thought it was pretty decent. What did you make it, Brian? I know you were sitting texting in our group all the way through.
There were bits that were all right. Some of it, like the longest drive, and that was mince. But like, if you wanted to, the flag football stuff was entertaining enough. You know what I mean? It's just wee bits. There's like no defense. That's all. If you're interested in that, you are humped.
Well, the second game there was, though. The second game of the flag football one actually had a wee bit.
I think we're being generous with a wee bit. But no, I thought the flag football stuff was reasonably entertaining. That, to be fair, in terms of the overall format of the Pro Bowl, I think what they did was better than what they have done. Because at the end of the day, like, as much as when they tried to pretend that the Pro Bowl was an actual competitive game of football, which was just a big joke, everybody knew it because nobody tackled because they didn't want to get an injury. No, don't mention Miles again.
I was going to mention Taylor.
I mentioned him if you want. But no, it was all right. You know what I mean? The bits of the flag football stuff was entertaining. I like the skills games. I will say I do quite enjoy watching the skills games, particularly although this wasn't.
So hold on. You said it was all right, but you then say you actually enjoyed the flag football part and the skills game. That was the entire Pro Bowl game.
Okay, right. I enjoyed some of the skills games. Right, I'll clarify. I enjoyed some of them. Some of them were mince. I think the one that wasn't on in Sunday night, the QB competition, I thought was quite. I remember seeing like old footage of that for like back in the day, when they used to do that, like similar kind of things, and that was quite entertaining to watch. But particularly watching Derek Carr chuck the Raiders under the bus.
Well, they chucked them under at first. Let's be fair.
Okay, mate, less chucking them under, more trying to like clot their ankles and drag them in with them.
Liam, what did you like? Did you enjoy this format to the previous Pro Bowl? Can you see sitting down next year with more beers and sitting watching this on a Sunday night?
I think I need more beers, yeah. But I suppose NFL are damned if they do, damned if they don't. As Brian was saying, it needed something to change, so it was passable for Sunday night viewing, shall we say? That was all right. The flag football, I think the flag football was actually quite good fun. It's quite enjoyable seeing them, all the players kind of relaxed and stuff, and just having a bit of laugh, really.
So, hang on, more or less enjoyable than watching the Packers this year?
Probably more overall, I'd say. And it's always good when you get was it Ramsey taking out Hill as well, just for the hell of it,
What I really enjoyed about this year's format was Pat McAfee doing his best to actually talk it up. He was clutching at straws at times. He was doing his best SmackDown impression and stuff like that. He was just trying to generate a bit of buzz, but it was all right. Oh, sorry, Liam.
I was just going to say it's probably better in person, isn't it? I suppose it'd be a fun day out than watching on the TV.
Best bit was in the first round of flag football. I'm trying to will Tyler Huntley into being a player. It's like 3 times. Oh, that's some player. You keep saying it, mate. It'll come through. Tyler Huntley. I mean, it was even there's a mystery. Everybody else in the AFC had cramp.
Scud, what did you catch any? I know we chucked you in the deep end.
I seen some of the flag football, the early games. Actually, the last one's on just now, but it was actually good. They looked like they're having a laugh and fun, which was good to see. But I do agree, it looks like a better setup than it was. I didn't see it all, obviously, but it looks a lot better than what it was.
Well, since you've caught a wee bit of it, mate, I'm just thinking, my next question I've kind of got up here is like, when I was thinking through it, is what changes do you think you need to make next year? They've already started, you know fine well they're not going to finish. This isn't the finished product. Try to test the water with some of these games and they'll mix it up. What do you think they need to do next year?
I think they need to bring more Ninja Warrior style, more skill games mixes. A longer gridiron gauntlet would be good fun, I think.
See, I was thinking more like going the reverse, like rather than a Pro Bowl, like who really stunk the place up and then turn into Squid Games. Can you just imagine it's like
Eli Apple, first recruit.
Who was really shite? Who gave up plays or something like that? I see that valid because it's like Jacoby Myers for that lateral pass, for example. He would be up, he would be the Patriots candidate, sort of thing, and then just make
every team nominates one player.
It's like the inverse of the Walter Payton
player.
Squid Games Man of the Year or something like that. It's just like who's left? Who's left?
Walter Payton Man of the Year award is really crappy alternative.
Look, you get through it and it's like who's been arrested this year? Who get a PED suspension? Who get ejected for games?
Can only put one player in. Remember?
Well, I was going to say the Browns don't put any forward. Basically, the winner gets a contract with the Browns.
Send us all of your dirty folk. We'll welcome them. My one idea for an event they could throw in, because all the events are focused on offense, and most of them are focused on offense. Do you know what? Like, so you can get the pub, you can get that like the punching machine that, like, obviously it's got some wee monitor in it that tracks how fast you hit the ball. Get one of the tackling dummies that they use, and just get all the different like defenders to just level the thing as hard as they can with a tackle. One of those wee monitors in it tell you who hit it the hardest. I'd watch that. I'd be interested.
It'd be like G's. It wouldn't be like the G-forces. So the crash test dummies, they can calculate how many G's they experience.
Then, of course, really randomly, something like Rodrigo Blankenship's going to come up and level the thing at the hardest of everything. Nobody's going to see it coming. Some kicker comes out that's the same size as me and turns out he's an absolute unit under his tiny wee kicker's uniform.
But do you not think, though, there's an opportunity here? The fact is that all the players, you're actually getting a closer up feel for them, their personalities and how they behave and something like that. Do you not think they should actually like tailor it more for that? Like, get away, like, some of the boring arseholes and try and get in, like, you know, the right psychos of the NFL, the ones that are just total headbangers. Like, never mind do it in like, merit based on their skill, but just try and get in these total nut jobs who can
just cannot be trusted.
Aye, it's like, well, come on down to Vegas for a week. What's the worst that could happen? We'll get you the telly, you know.
Prime AB, just Prime AB. It's just all about watch. We're just going to let him loose and watch him. It's going to be like the Truman Show with some American football themes.
Just lock the doors.
Just since you brought up AB, did you see his video the day or yesterday or whatever it was? He was basically saying that James Harrison is to blame for giving him CTE because he used an illegal helmet for 20 years or something. It's like, fucking hell, man.
I'll be honest, when you said have you seen the latest AB video, I was going to say no, mate. I don't go to Pornhub that often.
What do you mean, not that often? You're
That
liar.
That all entirely depends on how you define often. Honestly, AB's like talk about cry for help material, man. You know, and the guy, no idea what the guy needs, but he needs lots of assistance and it needs to come quick. Yeah, I think you're right. Get a wee bit more of some of the personality players, and you know, all like your big, like if you had a big grudge throughout the year, you know what I mean, get like the two players on opposite sides of the grudge to like. If some contest
make them captain or something like that and make them that's your teams run it. But you said it's even no helmet and watch them play flag football. You've seen so much more of the guys. We used to just see them helmet. We don't used to see their face, really, are you?
So exactly, and that's why I'm like, I just think it'd be interesting, like, you know, try and get some of the characters in for the league. You know, you can see it all the time, their social media output or whatever it is. You know, get some of them in. Could properly turn into a right. I don't know, what sort of batshit games. That could be good. Where we go here? Studs thinks we should get Garrett and Rudolph back in for the.
I said it's meant to be a competition.
It's a helmet free competition.
No, but you could just give them like two big, massive, like foam helmets.
Sticks
Just
like
battle lumps at each other with. You know, play it up.
Just do it like gladiators. That'd be brilliant.
So helmets at each end.
Exactly. So I think if Roger is listening to this, all this is now under copyright for Irn-Cru. We will accept commission going forward. We will
very reasonable offers.
50%.
I think next year we need to do our own Pro Bowl game sort of style competition with the crew. That'll be a laugh.
Oh, no, you're talking.
This is like a challenge.
Determined draft order on the fantasy league.
Well, get a bottle of Buckfast in first each, and then we'll see how they go. What was your highlight then of the Pro Bowl, or highlights, if you will, Scud? You must have won something you seen, you liked that. I thought it was good.
It was only the flag football. I enjoyed watching what I've seen of that. It seemed quite fun.
Any particular play?
It was the one. There was somebody horsed it all the way home in the first game. I can't even remember the name of the guy now.
NFC. Because it was the first game, the only big plays came out of Gino. Was that what you mean? And I can't remember who threw it to.
Was it Lamb?
Gino threw it to Lamb. It was a good catch.
Yeah, there was Lamb with a couple of nice ones.
And Judor actually just shot the bed and missed him. I was like, what are you doing?
He only takes souls, though. He's not going after flags.
He doesn't take flags. He takes your very existence.
I think Kittle had a couple of nice plays in it as well, but again, I find it hard to let's talk about nice plays and stuff, and let's face it.
Yeah, I like the Diggs on Diggs pick. That was good. That was good fun.
That was good.
That was nice.
I found it funny in the first flag game how, like, I can't remember who it was quarterbacking for the AFC, but they were like trying to play properly, and it was like everything was like wee short yardage dump off stitch up. You're like, mate, it's flag football.
It was Taylor Huntley.
Well, it was Huntley. That'd be my.
I find the rules a bit mental though, because
they changed them halfway through. Apparently, there was a bit. There was a bit where everybody was confused and they had to clarify.
The commentators were like, "What's happening here?"
Yeah, and they were like, "Something about the Russian quarterback, was it not?" Something like that.
Payne wasn't happy at the end, was he?
No, but it was the first game. They thought the quarterback could rush if somebody tried to close him down. They thought he could rush, and it was Huntley. Huntley tried to like run one in. They're like, no, you're in the no-run zone, or the no-run zone, with the 5 yards. But everybody was baffled. All the coaches are at the ref going, what's going on? Nobody knew any of the rules.
What about you, Liam? Did you have a particular highlight through any of the games or the flag football?
I've seen the Diggs and Diggs was good, and then I suppose half back to the Packers. Always good to see Alexander getting a pick as well in the flag
He
football.
did. Did he not return that for a pick six?
He did indeed.
That was in Trevor Lawrence, wasn't it?
It was indeed when they
his first throw.
Do you know, I'll give you
taking
my I'll give you my highlight in a minute, but we've just had a cracker on the Twitter of how would you improve the Pro Bowl? What would you amend? So we went in for Ryan Williams after he moved on from Scrubbit. Was put all the players in the mascot costumes of their teams and swap the football out for like. Well, he's recommended a baseball bat. I'm going to say maybe something less deadly and just make it carnage. I like the idea of that, but in general, just keep the games as they are, but all the players must play in mascot costumes.
That is class.
Like,
you just know. I think
the Eagles, MD for the Eagles.
I watched Ace Ventura last week, so then he's punching fucking the Eagles mascot. It still kills me.
What do you know? What I'm going to say about for the best bit of it, kick-tac-toe, purely because none of the kickers could score any points. Kick-tac-toe and all the points came out of the long snappers.
Long snappers are class. That's why
long
that looked so hard, didn't it?
I like I can't remember who it was, the AFC long snapper that won it, and they was getting asked, how can you prepare for this? Says, that's just the one long snap that we would get screamed at in training if we ever did.
Take some bad habits.
I might get back to the mascots though. I think he's onto something there because I'm trying to think who would win. I think it'd be Jackson DeVille and what's the name of the Colts one? Fine well they two would then just go to. That'd be the rivalry.
I'm having Brownie the Elf in the conversation.
No.
Brownie the Elf's in there, definitely.
He's in the local parlour getting a wee rub down.
You should just get the actual mascots. Because you see all the clips of them, like the mascots playing like halftime and things like that, and with the kids, and they totally take them out.
It's usually that arsehole for the Colts. It's always him.
Just have them line up against, actual real NFL players. Would be interesting as well.
The mascots against actual off.
Get like Aaron Donald and like Myles Garrett lined up, and then it's just like pick the mascot they want to kill. Hold on, they did that though, didn't they? Who was it again that did it? Was it the Patriots mascot or something? They did it a while ago, and like they were threatening to sue them because he absolutely binned them. Right, Stud, somebody out there who's listening must remember that, where it was an NFL player absolutely wiped out a mascot. And it was brilliant, but I think
it rings true.
Jamal Adams did it. There he goes. See, Studs is on the ball. Jamal Adams did it to the Pats mascot. I remember that back in the day. They properly hurt him. So it's been there. See, it's already there. The idea, they should definitely go for that. I'd be well up for that. Right. One of the ones I didn't like, I couldn't understand it, but it did come up with a highlight, was deciding to throw water balloons to each other. That was just the worst game in the world. That made no sense to me.
I've obviously missed that one. Water balloons?
It was part of the lightning round, and they were just sort of lobbing, and they had to catch them with it. But
I think I was making wings during the lightning round, I'll be honest.
Terry McLaurin did catch one, but it was like the Edelman catch during Super Bowl 51, when it was like an inch off the ground and stuff like that, and he just got it through his fingers. That guy's unreal. To be honest, we've lasted about 15 minutes there talking about the Pro Bowl, which it's about 14 minutes more than I thought we were going to last.
I'll throw in my last Pro Bowl comment, or my last memory of it, during the dodgeball game, when Chubb was like second, 1 or 2 left for the AFC team, chucked it, and I can't remember who it was in the NFC side, but they caught it. I've never seen a man look so upset about dodgeball. like Chubb doesn't I love Nick Chubb. He is genuinely probably my favourite player in the league. But he's not a happy looking man at the best of times. You know what I mean? He's morose. I think that would be the best word. He looked bloody devastated. He'd just been caught the slow trudge towards his side of the court. So he'd been caught out in dodgeball. And then he absolutely filled it during that challenge thing where they had to do the relay race.
Before we move on, Brian, is there anything else on Twitter? Anybody else want to give us their comments on how we make improvements going forward to the Pro Bowl? Because to be honest, I think in this 15 minutes brainstorming session, even with the help of Twitter, we've just like tripled their viewership. I think it would rival the Super Bowl. Oh, speaking of which, that halftime show was absolute murder. What the hell was that? Did you?
That's why
you
I
hear
went to
that
bed.
noise?
'Cause I was like, I ain't listening to that.
I'm done.
There's my bed. I was no.
That's how good it was. It actually rendered Scud unconscious.
I've got two bottles of Jack Daniels feel that, so fair play to them. But no, that was.
So I'm sure if we were much younger and cooler, that'd have been dead entertaining. Definitely.
Oh, I think we actually need to bring up as well, just because how shite they were, was the Diggs catch. You kind of touched on it earlier, saying you like to do that catch one, but so what was the actual name of it? I've got it here. Best catch. Funnily enough.
Great creatively made.
That way, trying to jump and blindfolded and catch it.
Nah, they got a wee trampette that they can bounce off to like, jump onto a crash mat. They're meant to do it.
Aye,
Him and Rassett Brown try to do backflips to make it interesting.
Well, one, at least he actually caught the ball and get set up with
Nice.
equanimity.
Aye.
That's easy for me to say.
His brother,
Aye.
mate. Just call it his brother.
Aye, but did you not see the Diggs one where he was just basically perving on all the cheerleaders' arses behind him,
Yes.
right? That was shocking.
That
My
was
eyes.
so caught. It's unbelievable.
So I'm just hiding down here. Aye, you deviant.
Just a wee rest. Gassed. Oh, that was a big run in that last play.
And then Trayvon was just they made a total arse of that. That was good fun. I liked it. Actually, I was laughing at that. It looked good. And not seeing Snoop in the sidelines as well. He was
Snoop get really into the flag football stuff, to be fair. Like Snoop was like really getting into it.
So somebody should hire him, shouldn't they? The Browns. They maybe need a
I gotta
DC.
get some teams that can do worse. Snoop is OC.
That was the class, man. Everybody just be walking like
Heads tests every single day in training. Everybody's getting randomly tested.
oh, it'd be tremendous. So I thought that was good. I thought Amon Ram was good. And I've got to say, overall, we've just had a good wee blather about it there. And it was good fun. It's something, to be honest, I think I would love to be sitting with a bunch of my mates, sitting watching a couple of beers and just having a laugh. I bet you they win. I bet you they win. You know, and you could just have a
I think that's, I think
you've
got it in the head there. I bet you that's if you put us all in a pub or something like that, big group of people together, and you're just having a couple of beers and watch it. There's no vested interests. Nobody's going to get upset at their team because they're doing it like that. It's just a good bit of crack. I think there's your future, Roger. There you are, Roger. We know you're listening. When it's on, pay everybody to go to the pub.
Move it to a Saturday.
Move it to a Saturday is a great idea.
That means
a lot more sense.
I don't need to be hungover for. Right. Any other final thoughts? He was all right. Have we sufficiently covered the Pro Bowl?
I think we've done the Pro Bowl as much justice as the Pro Bowl can be done. We've been alarmingly positive, it must be said.
I actually feel a wee bit harsh now about the highlights on the wee banner ticking across the bottom.
You don't feel bad enough to change it, but
no, I'll only change it when I'm slagging studs. Right, next up, couple of wee news items to sort of run through here. There's been some hirings of people who I am absolutely going to butcher their names. So
I'm looking forward to this.
The Panthers got a new DC, Mr. Evero.
No, come now. What's that first name?
What's his first name?
A gyro? A gyro?
A
gyro?
Get a gyro. The most Glaswegian method of potentially pronouncing a Spanish name. He's on his gyro, mate.
Sorry, Mr. Evero.
Don't blame him. We know you're a fun listener to the show, mate. But Danny's doing his best.
Oh, I know. I'm doing. Yeah, it is. He was DC for a season with Denver. Obviously, they had an absolute elite defense. It looks like an absolute solid pickup to me that they've got their team up with Frank Reich.
The only thing Denver had going until last year was their defense was solid. So you can complain about
that. Did get paid his own man and then?
Oh, 100%. Well,
you would think so.
I think Brian Flores has got another interview with them. So you never know, it could be in there. But I did see just before we come on there, Sean Payton was interviewed and asked, like, how do you feel about Russell Wilson basically having his own team of personal coaches? And he's like, that's foreign to me. That'll not be happening.
No, it's the answer.
Pretty much. You can just see the disgust in his face, like, nah, that's not happening, lads. Get to fuck. Second interviews for the Cardinals, head coach position, Mike Kafka, the OC for the Giants, Lou Anarumo, the DC for the Bengals, and Brian Flores, who I think is the linebackers coach now, the Steelers. We all know him. So they're actually all going for second interviews.
Oh, please take Flores. Just Flores out of the North, man. I say this begrudgingly, but I have a huge amount of respect for Flores as a coach. He is. The Steelers' defense has been incredible for years and years and years and years, and he's largely the reason why. Get him done.
Well, I don't know, years and years and years. They're like 2 years ago or a year ago or something.
Well, still, he's been about for long enough that he's.
Hey, well,
I think he'll move to either there or he'll get the usually DC at Denver.
He's up for another DC role, and I can't quite remember when it is, but yeah, he's going into another job anyway. There's no way he's not going to last the time.
Linebacker coach.
Nah.
Yeah, but fair play to him.
I thought it was DC.
No,
he's not
he was linebacker
coach. I would like it if he went just purely to get a good coach out of the North. There's only one team in the North. I want good coaches on, and it is not the Steelers.
Right, Eagles OC Shane, Mr. Shane. I can't pronounce his name. I'm not even going to try and butcher it.
Steichen. Can't argue with somebody like that. Everybody's been raving all year about the Eagles in every side of the ball. So it's the curse of success, isn't it?
Yeah, he's gone up for the Colts. Second interview, head coach there. So who's left? Cardinals, Colts, and brain fart moment.
Joe Woods has been hired as DC of the Saints. So
he has, yes.
There's no one more high coaching, Joe.
Yeah, I've got a brain fart. I was going to mention Browns, Myles Garrett with his discly toe. We've already covered that. I think Brian's already looking disgusted by it, but
it's sending somebody to the Pro Bowl and I'm getting hurt, man. Jesus, it's maybe the whole idea is nobody gets hurt.
I know even McCaffrey made it through, so I think so.
To be fair, for everything that's came out, it's like, yes, he's dislocated his toe, but it's fine.
Well, he's got 8 months or something like that to get it better. I'm sure he'll be fine.
It's not something that's like an actual problem, but it's more just the galling reality of somebody going to the Pro Bowl and getting bloody hurt.
I just want to bring it up because I thought you'd cry about it, but you've already done it early enough, so you stole my thunder there. Cowboys have a new OC. It's Brian Schottenheimer. So, yeah, he's found himself back as a OC again. I think he was last OC with the Seattle Seahawks. I think it was sort of 2018-ish.
Will he be calling plays, though?
No way. That, I'm pretty sure it's already been announced that it's McCarthy. Yeah, he's got to be calling the plays. So, it'll be interesting. But they decided to bin Kellen Moore, who basically walked straight for Dallas and went straight to LA and joined the Chargers as their OC. So, I don't know. It must always be a worry when somebody just ditches your team and jumps straight on to another team. It's like, did we make a mistake there? But that'll be interesting to see what he can do with Justin Herbert. I've got to say, he's obviously
again. Dak let the Cowboys down a lot of the time this year. There's a lot of stuff where you've seen good plays developing, and then Dak did interesting things. So coaching side, I would have said was pretty on point. I would have said unlike all of my complaints all year with the Browns on defense, but I put it squarely on coaching was the issue. I think with a lot of the stuff, Dallas's mistakes was largely personnel based. It was players.
Well, you look at it, he was getting tipped for head coaching jobs last year. He chose to stay there, and then they've punted him. As you said, Brian, I don't think it was all on him personally, and I'm excited to see what he'll do with Justin Herbert and Williams, and if they can get some more weapons in there. You're talking about the day that Allen might be getting cut. So if they can get some young rookies in there to work with that team as well, it could be very exciting.
Could be. Add a Staley defense. Parts are there. I would say the parts are there, so it'll be big pressure next year to overthrow Mahomes in the West. So stay tuned. The last kind of bit of news that I've kind of got up here is just because it was brilliant. Is Big Trent Williams was fined $12,731 for unnecessary roughness when he decided to body slam Wallace in the championship game at the end of that with the Eagles.
He tried to bury him. That wasn't a body slam. He tried to put him under.
It was worth every dollar, I bet.
I'm going to say he's chalking that one up as a business expense. He's going to try and see if he can claim tax back on that.
And Wallace wasn't fined for his part in it because, well,
really,
he was chucked about like an empty trachea. So
he was trying to get a bit. He just failed miserably. That's a sympathy lack of fine. Your ego has been damaged enough here. We do not need to damage your wallet.
You pick on the place kicker. Come on, you go for these. You don't have the left tackle.
Aye, pick on the punt returner. Don't pick in the nose guard.
One too many concussions, I think. Right, wee bit of Super Bowl buzz. As I say, it's now Super Bowl week. I can't wait. It's got to be amazing getting into the game. It's really starting to build up now. I'm definitely feeling it. I was a wee bit kind of disappointed after the game. I was hoping for better games there, but definitely got up to it. We're getting all together this week. We're counting down the days, Brian. We're getting together.
Counting the sleeps, mate. It's like Christmas.
Oh, it is, can't wait. But there'll be a bit of buzz that's come out already. I don't know if you guys seen this, but the 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk predicts the Chiefs passing game will expose the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Not better at all, is he? Not better.
That's what I was going to say. Is he better, or do you think he's right? Because, I'll look at Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and, James Bradbury and, all the other defensive weapons they've got there, and I think, I don't know about that.
Maddox eating him. No, sorry, Riddick.
Aye.
Riddick. Well, will Mahomes have two functional legs? Will Mahomes not be eaten by the Eagles D-line?
I've not seen the latest injury reports, but the last time I seen it was like, Tony wasn't practicing, Juju wasn't practicing, they've got Hardman went on to IR.
He's out. He's out.
And they've just got Edwards-Helaire back off IR.
Oh, sorry, hang on, boys. I'm going to fall. I'm away to sit up for the Chiefs. Need some help at the old wide receiver position. I could do a turn in there.
What's your 40-yard dash?
Well, I don't know. Is there a pint at the end of it? In that case, lightning. No man will beat me to the bar in 40 yards.
How come you never pay them?
That's why I'm so quick. Get me.
No left with the bill.
It's actually an 80-yard dash. I'm back at the seat again with my full pint while you're still going. Yeah, didn't you not bring me on one back? Oh, sorry, mate, forgot.
But by all accounts, Mahomes is trending in the right direction and should be close to 100%. So we'll see how he fares up. But I honestly cannot wait. We've just might have mentioned it. We've got loads of shows and stuff coming up this week. Loads of things on social media. We've got a podcast pretty much every night of this week, I think it is. We'll be doing deep dives in both teams. We're going to have people on from the States coming on, some of the UK's biggest fans for the Chiefs and the Eagles joining us. We're going to be on doing our Twitter Spaces things and having a bit of blather and a laugh over the weekend. So stay tuned, as well as that big giveaway we've got going on Twitter. So yeah, stay tuned to all that stuff. Cannot wait. It's just a brilliant time of year. It's even better when the Patriots make it.
Guys, if the person who wins that giveaway wants to gifted a Browns Garrett top to me, then I would grudgingly but graciously accept.
See how if I win or one of my many bots win. Wink, wink. No, like, we're not allowed to enter. I would get you.
Is that why? Oh, so that's what that Manny DickVay Twitter account was.
I would get you.
I was careful how I said that.
I'd get you a Watson one and send you a Watson one. See if you would wear it. See if you're a man of principles and morals.
No, I wouldn't actually.
You would, you liar.
I absolutely not. Do you know what? I would wear it. Then, given where we're going to watch the Super Bowls right next to the Clyde, I'd take a run and jump in.
Oh, don't do that. You're keen about location.
You can just throw that in. Don't need to jump in. Wait, mate.
Sorry, I can swim.
Oh, Jesus. Right. It's that time of year again. It was only 2 years ago, around about this week, I think it was, where Rams and Lions made that big deal that sent Matt Stafford to LA, sent Jared Goff the other way, and we know how that's now ended up. One won the Super Bowl one year, another one, was at the Pro Bowl, and just so, did great there. Had a great season in the Lions, they're building up. So I just thought it's maybe an interesting time just to have a wee deep dive and have a look at what's going on in the world of the QBs in this league. Now, there's a lot of, I've got a list here of potential QBs that could be in the move. So if you stay, bear with me, I will try and read this exhaustive list out. Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Jimmy G, Geno Smith, Ryan Tannehill, Lamar Jackson, Daniel Jones, Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Jameson Winston, Matt Ryan, Marcus Mariota, Baker Mayfield, Taylor Heineke, Andy Dalton, Sam Darnold, Jacoby Brissett, and Mike White. I've probably missed a few in there, but that was just sort of off the top of my head who could be making a move. Now, teams I've got who could be looking. So this is where I want you guys to come in. Stop me. Let's have a wee bit of conversation as we get through these teams. And who do you think is a good fit, or what do you think is going to happen with each one of them, right? Because I think I've got about 17 teams here who could, in theory, be looking for some sort of QB. Miami Dolphins. What do you think?
I think we'll stick with Tua.
Stick with Tua.
Yeah.
They're bringing a good backup, though, I think.
The
Okay.
only thing that
Jacoby
stops
Brissett.
the Dolphins will be if Tua decides he's done, which I don't see happening.
Don't know. It depends who goes with that.
Jacoby Brissett going to the Dolphins is a backup to a brilliant move. Jacoby's been excellent this year. Really has wildly overperformed.
There you go. Liam, any suggestions here? Do you
No,
think
yeah,
Tua?
I was going the same way with Brissett. I thought he's probably the top backup of all those players you mentioned, I think. So, and after this season he's going to get a reasonable pay, I think, deal.
Well, that's it. Obviously, I'll be interested if the Browns try to keep him about. Just, you never know what's happening with Watson and his.
I would. I'd pay him. Well, you can't pay him, but I'd definitely want to keep him about.
Quarterback.
If everything everybody said that he's even putting the fact that he's played well aside, apparently he's a really, really big presence in the locker room. Apparently the guys absolutely adore him, apparently, which I can get. Everything you see with him, he seems brilliant.
Right.
Always been that way, but
Next team I've got here are the Indianapolis Colts. Now, they've got Matt Ryan now. He's not got to hang about. They had, who else did they have in this year? They had Ellinger in, and they had somebody else in. Who? Yes.
I think they'll draft.
Do you think they draft? No, they're currently sitting, I think, in fourth.
Yep.
But their big AFC South rivals are sitting at second. Do you think they're in play actually to try and hop into first place, do a wee deal with the Bears, and actually get in front of them and pick up their man they want? Whether it could be CJ Stroud, it could be Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, Hendon Hooker, or who's the one? Will Levis, yeah.
I don't know if they'll move up, but I just think they get a new head coach in, new slate, draft a QB, see what happens, and can't really blame it on the coach if it goes totally tits up, sort of thing. So that's where I think.
I don't think they're a quarterback away, but the way
No,
I thought
probably
last
not.
year they were
Yeah,
a chance.
I think they are.
Eventually they were, but their O-line was horrible last year.
Considering the amount of money paid that O-line, it shouldn't have been
Exactly.
that bad. But it's a big year, obviously, for Chris Ballard to get it right. You know, again, whether he has enough say over it with Jim Irsay behind the wheel, you never know what the hell they've got to do. But it will be interesting to see what happens. I think I agree with you guys. I think they draft high, and I think they can. And I think they'll maybe end up trying to get in perhaps like a Heineke or a Mayfield or something like that, a veteran on a pretty cheap contract, give him a 1-year deal, just to have in there sit behind whatever rookie they go for. That would be my guess. Don't know what you think.
No, I do think
I
they
think that's about right.
develop them.
So, I've got the next one up, the Raiders. Come on. What do you have?
Rodgers.
So, well, this is to be honest, I would say between the
Manny's
Raiders.
been tweeting it.
Well, Devontae.
Adams has. He's been tweeting it out.
He even commented. He got interviewed at the Pro Bowl as well. He was talking about it as well. So.
And Rodgers was, I don't know what the golf competition was he was at, but it was a golf competition and he was getting asked.
He won the
going to San Francisco.
Yeah. And he won a trophy as well at the golf.
He won it.
Oh, well, it's good.
Longest drive. Longest drive. He's got a poster of Danny Boy here up in his wall.
That's what I want to be when I grow up.
No, I guess there's teams like the Raiders, the Jets, and maybe Tampa. The Bucks are sort of the three
I
big
don't see him
ones.
going to the Jets.
Well,
I don't know why. I just don't see it.
Joe Douglas is and the owners there have obviously said they want to go all in. They want to try and do whatever they can to get him. I don't see if we go into a wee bit of deep dive with Rodgers. Then since you're on Liam, I don't see him getting traded to another NFC team. I think it'll be AFC.
Yeah, it definitely AFC. I think goes.
Do you think you'll want to go to the Raiders, go up against Herbert, Mahomes, and Dangerous? Twice a year.
I don't know. Like, I think he wants to go somewhere that he has a chance at a championship. I don't think the Raiders are one QB away from that either. So I think Jets are probably skill position wise. Have got better.
Jets are a QB away.
Well, they're better than one QB away than more than the Raiders are. I think.
Well, they get
Their defense and their young wide receivers.
The defense is good, but yeah, because Rodgers is famous for loving working with young wide receivers.
But again, if you get Breece Hall back and you get Elijah Vera Tucker, for example, on that line, that's a good start. You've now got a good old line there. It's got to be solid. You've got good back room.
Wilson's a good wide receiver.
Yeah, an absolute stud. So again, they can put another few pieces running about him.
Well, here's your question then. If he goes to the Jets, how do they make the money work? Because what are they? I'm just looking at them now. They are if projected to be over the cap, just over the cap, admittedly, but over the cap already.
Oh, that's fine.
So
it's better than the position the Packers are in. So
well, fair enough. Do you know what? I need to scroll down to find the Packers.
Christian Watson has entered the chat.
Aye, but how long did it take Watson before he actually started producing this year?
Yeah, but how many yards did Wilson get?
That check. I don't know off the top of my head. But
it was over 1,000.
Chemistry. Rodgers doesn't just accept new wide receivers. Going to a new team, not the rest of it. I would see Rodgers wherever he goes being pretty underwhelming for half a year.
Right, well, okay, out of the list of teams I've got Dolphins, Colts, Ravens, Titans, Raiders, Texans, Jets, Rams, Seattle, Panthers, Green Bay, Giants, Washington, Cardinals, Saints, Tampa, Falcons, 49ers. Told you half the damn league, I think, could potentially be looking for some form of quarterback. Out of all them, where do you think Rodgers goes then? Liam, start with you.
If he's going to get traded, I think it goes to the Jets.
Jets, right.
I think it goes to the Jets.
Brian?
Tampa.
Ooh, scary.
Tampa have no money either.
Raiders.
No, aye, but witchcraft.
Raiders.
Raiders, again, you don't have to build up a rapport with a wide receiver then, do you?
True.
That's true. But again, it looks like they're trying to get ready to let Renfro and Waller and perhaps and a few others. So we'll see. Derek Carr, might as well just talk about him. We've seen him at the end. They had a wee dig who were mentioned that the Raiders throwing him under the bus. He's told he is surplus to the requirements. He's the big one. He's probably got to be cut in the next couple of days. Mm-hmm. It's very unlikely. I think Andy's got to trade for him unless they do something like the Pats go for like Stephen Gilmore and you get a late 6th, 7th round big pick and somebody just picks
up. It's the Baker Mayfield situation for the Browns. No, nobody's going to trade you for him because they know you're about to come.
Yeah. So where do you see him going? Again, out of sort of all those teams I mentioned, there's talk again of the Jets. I think it all seems to be the same sort of teams. The Rams, for example, Stafford, I think, will be back. He might be healthy. Seattle, I think it looks like Geno will begin back there. The Panthers?
The Panthers are the Commanders, I thought.
Commanders could be a good shout.
Could be a really good shout, actually.
They're obviously move on for Wentz and Heineke will go. They're obviously under Ron, Big Ron, Riverboat Ron. They've got some great pieces in there. We've seen it again. Terry McLaurin, Johan Dotson. I forget the big tight end name. No. I'll go back to sleep here. But you know what I mean? There's some good pieces in there for a good quarterback.
I'd stick the Saints in there. I think Saints is an option.
That's sure.
Particularly given that the Saints don't have a pick till 29. So they've got, unless they do some serious trading, the Saints aren't going to get something in the draft. Jameis didn't look anywhere near. He was hurt on and off all year, to be fair. But they've had absolute nightmares. That's what I mean. They've had nightmares at QB all year. If somebody wasn't hurt, they were. It just wasn't great. Um,
And one more.
Where he played most of the year.
Jimmy G, where do you see him going? No, I think he could actually be a good fit in Tampa. You know, similar to Brady, don't change the offense much. I know Brady's the GOAT, but again, coming through that Patriots offense with Josh McDaniels, might find it a wee bit easier just to pick up, and they don't need to change too much. And he probably hasn't got to cost the world either. Do you see him there, or do you see him in like Raiders to actually go and again team back up with Josh McDaniels?
I suppose obvious choice is the Raiders, isn't it, for McDaniels? But I think that's a shout at Tampa, actually. As you say, he's got good skill position mix there. In theory, if they can bring him back.
The Niners said that they're definitely not just going to re-sign him.
I think they said
they've said he's away. They're going with the 2 quarterbacks.
Right, I missed that, but I was just thinking with Purdy gubbed for at least 12 months. Although he's got a second opinion, to be fair.
It was interesting because Joe sorry, mate.
No, I was going to say I would see the Niners try to keep him. I mean, the Niners know exactly what they have with him. They know he works in that offense. They know that Purdy is bust. God knows what it will be like when he comes back. And he was third string. I mean, as much as the romance around Purdy this year has been great, he was a third string QB.
Jimmy G, the Texans.
They draft
back up with DeMeco Ryan.
Nah, could be. I don't see it.
I thought people quarterback for the Texans. I thought if he forces a move, Jackson, because they've got all the cap space in the world. Because they've got they can pay him. So he wants paid.
That's a shout. That's a shout. I was ready to put that, but it's a good call.
I like that move actually, Mr. Sterling. Just because you're saying you've got Nick Caserio as the general manager there, former Patriot. You've got DeMeco Ryan's new head coach, Niner. It's like pieces are actually falling together there. But like you say, what I mentioned earlier, the second overall pick in the draft, they could easily. I guess they could easily do both, couldn't they? They've got cap space.
Yeah,
the one just we mentioned Lamar. My shout for Lamar, based largely on cap space and a wee bit on Lamar's game. Giants.
Well, that's interesting because I was going to come to both of them. Lamar Jackson, Daniel Jones. I put them together because I can see them both been tagged and both not been very happy about it. But yeah,
I can see Lamar holding out if they tag him.
Yeah,
Lamar gets tagged. Lamar's going to be hurt. With digestive distress, no doubt, for large portions of the year. I don't think Lamar was that banged up tail end of this year. I think Lamar's played that up to stop to. It's not wrong. I find it hard to grudge it to him. He's trying to preserve himself. With his game, he takes one big bad hit and his career's done. Until he gets some guarantees. I understand why he's not willing to risk it.
See, they're about 100 million apart. They're in guaranteed money. That's quite a significant.
He wants Watson's contract. At the end of the day, it's been in the people have tried to pretend that it's not the case, but it absolutely is. He's seen what Watson's been given, and that's what he wants.
Well, he knows what to do. Go and commit 30 cases of sexual assault, allegedly.
Allegedly.
And that's how you get them Benjamins. So
that's how you get all them Benjamins. You take them off masseuses. But no, he's not going to get it. Not with his game.
The best fit for them is the 49ers, but they're never going to be able to afford them.
You think so? You think? I don't know. You hear everything that's kind of coming out there now for the 49ers, and the talk is like, well, there was one actually I found pretty funny. It was Colin Cowherd talking to Nick Wright the other day, and he was basically saying that if Mac Jones was with the 49ers, they'd be playing the Super Bowl next week, which I thought was quite interesting because,
you're madly in love with Mac Jones?
No, because Cowherd,
why wouldn't it be?
He's not been shy about his kind of limitations of Mac Jones and stuff like that. It's like, Shanahan likes an accurate passer, somebody who's just got to distribute the ball, get to dynamic wide receivers who can, be, get all the yards after the catch. So, so that's an interesting one there. But that's why I thought Lamar does he really want a dynamic running back? I guess he's sort of got that in Trey Lance if he can stay healthy. There was one more I was just want to quickly talk about, and it's Ryan Tannehill. I don't know how you guys think, but there's a very good chance that he could be traded. So
I genuinely would not be massively surprised if Ryan Tannehill retired.
Retired?
Well, what Tannehill's what? This is what I'm going to try to find out how old Tannehill is.
Early 30s.
It's okay, maybe I'm talking. Maybe in my head it's 34. Okay, no, maybe not. Then I'm sorry. In my head, Tannehill's older than that.
You wish you were 34, Brian.
Tell me about it. My head, genuinely in my head, Tannehill's ages with me a wee bit older than me, 37, 38 mark, and I thought he's not been great this year. He was banged up. He took injuries. He took hits. Do you see him willingly becoming a backup to anybody?
You're only 38.
But again, I could see I could see the Saints doing a deal for him, for example.
Saints is a shout, yeah. He would walk in there and be QB1. They would
or the Falcons. Falcons team back up with Arthur Smith.
Yeah, I had the Arthur Smith kind of connection. I thought that was maybe a shout, but I think it's really hard to find where Tannehill would go, though. As you say, all the other teams, he's not going to be a backup.
If we think Rodgers go, the Green Bay just stick with Love and see what they've got?
I think they have to. I think because he's going into his fourth year now, they need to make a decision. Basically, fourth year.
I don't see them running with Love.
Either you have to go run with Love, see if he gets a fifth year option, or keep Rodgers and trade Love. They can't keep Love as well.
I'd see Green Bay trading Rodgers and trading for another QB. I can see Green Bay try to do both. Try to pick somebody up.
The great news is we've got about 6 more months of talking through this. As I say, I think it will start now. I think it's got to pick up this week. We're going to get a couple of moves at quarterback. We're going to see where some of these players start to land up, see what more of the chat is. And I think it's going to be absolutely fascinating going forward because, these deals make or break teams. These deals make or break franchises, head coaches, the whole lot. So I think it was good just to touch on it a wee bit and just see what's coming up because there's a lot of options. Even like the list I put in, like the Cardinals, fine, well, they've got QB1, but there's big talk of, is the wee man going to miss the start of the season? Murray, you never know. 49ers, is Purdy going to be fit? Is Trey Lance ever fit? You just never know how these things are going to go, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's why we love this sport. But anyway, lads, I think that's it for this episode. We've got a fair shot. We went through the Pro Bowl and all its glory, and it was great fun as always. Scud, final thoughts for you, bud?
I'm just looking forward to the Super Bowl, mate. One last hurrah for the darkness of the 6 months that follows.
You sound excited, mate. I can't wait either.
Mate, I'm shattered. Arsehole Keith kept us waiting for ages.
Oh, damn him. Brian, any final thoughts, mate?
Super Bowl. See, that's how you're meant to do it, man. So
that's excitement right there.
No, buzzing for the weekend. Big full weekend planned. Cannot wait. And as the bold Scud book says, it's the big last hurrah before we need to go full Simon Garfunkel, and it's "Hello Darkness, my old friend." Then I speak to my family on Sundays.
Free agency to come. No, we've got free agency, we've got the draft, we've got,
and I'm good. Despite the Browns having no stake in the draft, I'm buzzing for the draft purely to watch Grant get disappointed by whatever the Bears do.
That is true. Right, Liam, what about you? Any final thoughts, mate?
Yeah, well, it's like you're alluding to. I think as this week's already started, getting excited, as you say. I think initially after the last weekend, the last round, but a bit meh after the games, but never getting to the crunch. Looking forward to
your whole season, Liam.
Well,
no, brilliant. I totally agree. Cannot wait. It's going to be a great week. See, we've got loads of content to come up. Just thanks again very much to everybody who's listening, watching. Make sure again subscribe and follow us and the like and all that other nonsense on social media, which is always good fun. Again, thanks very much to anybody who's sent in questions and left us comments on Twitter, YouTube. Again, love folk getting in touch and being part of the show. Again, if you're not already following us, follow us on Twitter at Irn-Cru or on Instagram. It's grid_ir_crew on YouTube as well. Find us there, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us questions in through the week. As I say, we're going to be back a whole week of content. We're dropping podcasts every single night and loads of good stuff on social media. So again, thanks very much all for watching and listening.